Hello everyone friends, we have already talked about all the antagonists. But now it's time to talk about our allies in Poppy Platinum 3, Ollie, a character who communicates with us through calls. We don't know who he is or what he is, how he is connected to everything and how he knows so much. So who is Ollie? And how can it be a prototype? But before that, I ask my friends, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and also write comments. This all helps promote the channel. Here we go. Ollie is a major character in Chapter 3, Deep Sleep of Poppy Playtime. He is an unseen entity who communicates with the player through their telephone. There is currently no known appearance towards what Ollie looks like, as he solely communicates with the player through their phone. However, this has led to much theorizing on what his appearance would be. Ollie seems to care about the experiments, opting to help the player and Poppy defeat the prototype to save all the toys he knows from certain death. Despite the harsh conditions in Playtime Company, he is unusually upbeat and joyful. He possesses a lot of knowledge about playcare, as he tells the player where to go and what to do in each location they go in. He is also well aware of the threats in playcare, especially catnap, informing the player on how to deal with them, which implies he has studied the area's threats heavily. It is gifted to the player via a mysterious entity, and given the context of Chapter 3, the phone is heavily associated with Ollie, implying that Ollie is the entity that contacts the player. Additionally, Ollie gives a small speech in the trailer for Phase 3 of Project Playtime, saying that he is but a wayward plaything, implying that he is one of the many experiments performed by Playtime Company. Chapter 3 doesn't provide the player with much information regarding who or what Ollie is. Some have assumed that he is an orphan who lived in playcare, having avoided experimentation, becoming one of the sole survivors of the Hour of Joy. Catnap may have kept some children safe from the hostile experiments during the Hour of Joy, and afterwards, these children were most likely raised by the experiments after the Hour of Joy, which could explain Ollie's knowledge of playcare and catnap. It is plausible, however, that some of the children and possibly Ollie, by extension, were babies by the time the Hour of Joy occurred. Third, notes that there are cribs in Home Sweet Home, and were then raised by either the more intelligent and caring experiments or other children who became teenagers within those 10 years. However, this poses some. It has been 10 years since the Hour of Joy took place in the current timeline. If Ollie was human, food would be an issue, as it is shown to be relatively scarce across the chapters so far, barring cannibalism. Furthermore, if he was a child, this means Ollie should be around 15-20 years old at least, and therefore should have a deeper voice. However, the voice heard in-game sounds like it belongs to a child that is below 10 years old. So it may also be plausible that Ollie is also a living toy to be able to keep a childlike voice, not to mention the rate of a toy surviving the Hour of Joy is higher compared to being a human. It is also assumed that Ollie is likely a part of the advanced security system that Leith Pierre refers to in one of the HS tapes of Chapter 1. This is further established by the fact that Ollie's status is unknown on whether he is a human or not, and has knowledge of the systems and the inner workings of the factory. He helps Poppy and the player all the time, warning of any dangers, using premeditated words as to seemingly abide by some unknown factory policies. No touches or lost body parts, as well as remaining distant when One mini-theory was that Ollie might be Bobby Bearhug due to her cutout to never having a screaming line like the others, only saying she was lost. However, they are different genders despite sounding similar. It is theorized that Ollie is secretly the prototype due to a tape in Chapter 3 revealing that 1006 can replay and rearrange voices he hears. Country Stedersen, and it is behind the mysterious messages in Project Playtime due to his relation with the phone in Chapter 3. Deep Sleep, which is gifted to the player in Project Playtime by an entity who might be the prototype that uses the tapes to communicate in the game. Although Poppy and Kissy know Ollie, it's plausible they've never met Ollie in person. He states that they, the player, can save a lot of people, despite there being almost no human present in the game so far. It's likely he sees the other experiments, if he is one himself, as still being somewhat like people. However, if he is the prototype, he may be deliberately manipulating the player for his own ends. These are the theories about who this mysterious Ollie is. This is where I end, friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also write comments. Thanks for watching, and bye.